Today is my wedding day. I can hardly contain my excitement. I'm finally marrying the love of my life, Roberto. We met back in secondary school and over time fell deeply in love. I glanced at my wedding dress hanging gracefully on the wall and smiled. I couldn't wait to become his forever. My friends soon arrived and helped me get dressed. I looked like the most beautiful bride in the world. But suddenly, a strange wave of sadness washed over me, and tears welled up in my eyes. I told my mother, and she gently assured me it was only nerves, just the emotions of a new beginning. I smiled faintly, convincing myself she was right. Perhaps I was just overthinking. Taking a deep breath, I stepped out. Seeing the crowd gathered for me filled my heart with warmth. Everyone was there, except Roberto. I found it odd, but I assumed he might have gone to the restroom. I stood there, smiling, waiting for him. 10 minutes passed, then 15. Still no sign of him. Guests began whispering, some even left out of frustration. I approached Roberto's best friend, who looked uneasy. He said he was going to the washroom, he murmured, but I checked. He's not there. Panic started to creep in. We called his phone. No answer. We sent messages. Nothing. Roberto had vanished. I refused to believe it. I couldn't. He wouldn't leave me. Not today. Tears poured down my face as I sank to the floor, trembling. Hours passed. Night fell. One by one, everyone left until only family remained. My mother came from behind and hugged me tightly, crying with me. Just then, Roberto's best friend entered the room again, holding a folded paper and wearing a sorrowful expression. "I'm sorry, Maria," he said softly, handing me the note. With shaking hands, I unfolded it. My vision blurred as tears streamed down like a waterfall. Greater than, "I'm sorry, Maria. I never truly loved you. I was only with you because of the woman I loved, Julia. She wanted revenge for how you bullied her back in school. I agreed to help her. Now, we're flying to another country to get married. I hope I never see you again." I stared blankly at the paper, my heart shattering into pieces. Roberto never loved me. "Oh my God, that bastard. He didn't deserve you, Maria." "You'll be okay," my mother cried. But there was no okay left in me. I walked silently to my room and locked the door. My mother knocked repeatedly, but I didn't respond. I just wanted to be alone. Moments later, everything fell eerily silent. When I didn't answer, my brother Franco broke down the door. But the room was empty. Maria was gone. They rushed outside, searching frantically, then filed a police report. Hours later, the police called the family to Street 77. There, they discovered Maria's lifeless body, drenched in blood. The family broke down, screaming in agony. An autopsy revealed nothing. No fingerprints, no DNA, no signs of struggle. Her cause of death remained a mystery. A week later, they buried her. Life slowly moved on, and people began to heal. But soon, strange things began happening. Residents near Street 77 reported hearing a woman sobbing in the middle of the night. Others swore they'd seen a ghostly figure, a bride in a blood-stained gown, wandering through the woods. Then the killings began. People were found dead under mysterious circumstances. No suspects, no witnesses. Some believe it was Maria's vengeful spirit, forever trapped on Street 77, claiming the lives of the living. To this day, her story remains an unsolved mystery, the haunting bride who never found peace. My name is Sylvia, and I'm the mother of Ruth, my 20-year-old daughter who suffers from a severe mental illness. I know she isn't okay. Deep down, I know she needs professional help, maybe even to be admitted to a psychiatric hospital. But I just couldn't let her go. I couldn't lose my little girl. My husband, Michael, had grown tired and frustrated. He begged me to take Ruth to the hospital, but every time I refused. I couldn't bear the thought of her alone in some cold, sterile place, surrounded by strangers. Every morning, I would dress her up as a bride, white gown, veil, soft pink lipstick, because she said she liked it. She said her groom was waiting in her room. And though I knew it wasn't real, I watched her talk, laugh, and smile at someone invisible. Tears filled my eyes, but in some strange way, it made me happy to see her like that, even if it wasn't right. That night, Michael came home furious. When I served dinner, he slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "Don't think you're helping our daughter, Sylvia, dressing her up like a bride and letting her talk to some invisible man. That's sick." Without touching his food, he stormed off to the bedroom. I quietly ate alone. Then, exhausted, I drank a glass of water and went to bed. When I woke up, my head was pounding. The sunlight was already streaming through the curtains, too bright. I looked at the clock. 1 p.m. Panic hit me like lightning. How could I have slept that long? I ran to Ruth's room, empty. The bed was cold, her gown gone. And then it hit me. Michael. He must have drugged my water so he could take Ruth to the hospital without my interference. I called him over and over again. Finally, he answered. "She's fine, Sylvia. She's safe. Don't worry about where then," he hung up. I collapsed on Ruth's bed and sobbed uncontrollably. I knew I'd failed her. I'd been selfish, too afraid to let her get the help she needed. Somewhere between tears, I drifted into sleep again. When I woke up, it was already evening, 7 p.m. My stomach ached with hunger, but I didn't care. Then I noticed something on her desk, a small voice recorder. I had placed it there days ago to record Ruth's conversations with her imaginary groom. With trembling hands, I pressed play. Her voice filled the room, soft and innocent, talking lovingly to the man she always mentioned. Tears welled in my eyes. But then, something else played. A man's voice, deep, calm, whispering back to her. My breath caught in my throat. What? I replayed it again, pressing the recorder to my ear. There was no mistake. It wasn't Ruth's imagination. There was someone else in that room. Sweat trickled down my neck. My pulse raced. Then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, coming from behind me. My body froze. My heart slammed against my ribs. I couldn't turn around. A tall shadow stretched across the floor, moving toward me. I squeezed my eyes shut, silently praying it would vanish. Moments later, Michael arrived home. The house was eerily silent. "Sylvie?" he called softly. "I'm sorry, but our daughter needed help." No answer. He checked their bedroom, empty. Then, cautiously, he opened Ruth's door. What he saw made his blood run cold. Sylvia sat on the bed, dressed in a wedding gown, face pale as snow. A chilling smile curled on her lips as tears of blood streamed down her cheeks. Her eyes were wide and distant, yet she was smirking, as though something unseen was forcing her to. Then she spoke, her voice eerily calm. "Come, Michael. Come meet my husband." Michael froze. The air in the room turned ice cold. He looked around, but there was no one else there. A faint laugh echoed, low, haunting, and not of this world. Michael's knees buckled. He clutched the doorway, trembling. First Ruth, and now Sylvia. The groom had finally come for them both. Evelyn Hart was known for her beauty and grace. She had a gentle smile that could quiet a room and eyes that seemed to hold a secret no one could name. Her wedding day was supposed to be perfect. White roses, soft music, and the man she claimed to love. The ceremony took place at Willow Creek Mansion, an old estate that had stood for over a century. It was grand, elegant, and perhaps a little too quiet. Guests danced and drank until midnight, unaware that behind Evelyn's calm smile was something deeply unsettled. At exactly 12, she excused herself. "Just a moment," she said softly, still smiling. She went upstairs to her bridal suite. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. By morning, the maid found her hanging from the ceiling beam, her wedding gown flowing around her like a ghost. Her veil was torn, her bouquet scattered across the floor, and her lips curved into a faint, chilling smile. There was no note, no explanation, nothing but silence. Her groom, Thomas Vale, broke down when he heard the news. He swore she had been happy the night before, that she'd told him she loved him, that she was looking forward to their future. But his words trembled, and his eyes never met anyone else's. People began to talk. Some said she found out Thomas was cheating. Others said she had second thoughts about the marriage. But one story refused to fade, that a week before the wedding, Evelyn visited the mansion alone. The caretaker remembered her clearly. She had asked to see the old mirror in the master bedroom, a tall, cracked mirror said to have belonged to the mansion's first mistress, who also died on her wedding day. Evelyn had stayed in the room for nearly an hour. He'd heard her crying, then laughing. When she came out, she was pale and trembling. She looked at him and whispered, "It told me the truth." After her death, Thomas went mad. He returned to the mansion one night, long after it had been closed off. The next morning, they found him in the same room where Evelyn died. The mirror was shattered, and written on the wall in his blood were the words, "She wasn't the one who died." The case was never solved. The mansion was abandoned. Yet even now, people who pass by at night say they see a woman in a white gown standing at the upper window, smiling through the dark. Those who dared to enter said they felt cold air circling them, as if someone unseen was moving around them. And sometimes, when the light hits a broken shard of glass just right, they say you can see her reflection. Evelyn Hart, forever in her wedding dress, smiling that same soft, terrible smile. No one knows why she did it. No one knows what the mirror showed her. All they know is that the bride who smiled at midnight never truly left.